ladies and gentlemen, I know her. You know that she's amazing. But for those, Tiffany, who do not know who you are, please share with us, who is Tiffany Boone?
Tiffany Boone is a simple, kind, pleasant, peaceful, fun a singer. I've been in church all of my life. I'm a PK. I love God with everything within me. And I don't know, I'm simple. I claim to think that I'm simple. For the most part, that's who I am.
Great. Now, you and I watched the John P. Key Hezekiah Walker thing last night, right? And you've been featured on albums before. I want you to keep in mind the John P. Key Hezekiah Walker body of music, not who wrote what, not who produced what, but just their body of music. If you could do a feature, whose feature would you want to be on? A John P. Key album or a Hezekiah Walker album? Where are you going?
Wow, that's a great question.
I only ask the good ones here.
Wow, if I had to feature, I'm going to go with, I love Pastor John's rounded sound. I also love Hezekiah Walker because he's churchy. He's church all day. If I had to feature on a song, that is so hard.
I know. And we're going to put you on the spot because this is one of those shows where you absolutely have to answer the question. There's no tie, which we'll get into in a second. You have to answer these hard questions. Now, think about this. If you wanted to be a bump or a ballad, now, whose album would you want to be on? And which type? Are you going to bump or are you going to flat foot sing?
I would have to go with ballad because if I can say this, most of the time I am bumpy and churchy as it is. Mm-hmm. So just to give a different personality, to give some diversity, I would probably suggest the ballad.
Ballad. And then whose album did we say? John P. Key? Yep, I didn't let you get away with it. I was right there. I stay in the pocket like a John P. Key drummer.
They both are incredible. That's a really hard decision. If I could get a song on both,
right,
that would be incredible.
Whoever album you go on, it's gonna get played at least 57 times a day.
Wow, I received it.
Who won last night?
Here you go. Here you go.
I get in the weeds.
That's hard, and the reason why is because every time you listened, like it was hit after hit after hit, and I was in my room like, oh man, this is great. Like, it didn't make any sense, and they didn't give us all of their music. It's crazy, and it's really unfair.
They didn't give us all their music, but John tried to give us all of his songs, didn't he? Every song, he said, I know I do 5-minute songs. We're going to sit here and enjoy all
listen to the whole thing.
And my friend Gigi said, we can easily go through Hezekiah because it's the song, it's the lyrics at the beginning, it's a vamp, it's a modulation, it's a modulation, it's a modulation, it's a modulation, it's a modulation. You're good.
And then there's another modulation.
And then one more. Somebody wrote a text or a message on social media. Which one is harder to sing? Power belongs to God or Jesus is my help? I need to hear from a professional.
Well, I don't want to say that. I wouldn't say for me, Power Belongs to God is fun to sing because it tells a story. Mm-hmm. Jesus is my help is fun to sing as well because it's a challenge to see how high you can actually go. I don't know, but for me, I would have to go with Power Belongs to God because I like the story that it tells in the beginning.
And it is a little bit harder to sing.
You think so?
A lot, all them words. It's like all its parts and notes and breaks.
Yeah,
and
true.
It's difficult. True. When you were growing up, you were a church girl, right?
Oh yeah.
And you were a choir girl, right? Not really? You weren't choiring? Mm-mm. What was it like then? What did you guys sing in the house?
A lot of Kimberell, a lot of Fred Hammond. My brother's my greatest influence. He's pastoring now, but he sings. He's 3 years older than I am.
What's his name?
Well, I call him TC Boone, but he's a pastor, so it's Pastor Timothy Charles Boone.
Pastor Timothy Charles Boone, and he's a pretty good singer.
Oh, he is.
I heard, I heard some stuff about him, and you know what? I'm not one to say stuff behind somebody's back, so I'm gonna bring him in. Pastor Timothy Boone, how you doing, sir?
Hey.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good.
So, according to your sister, who did not know you was going to be on the show today, you're a pretty amazing singer. What was it like growing up with Tiffany as your sister in the
She was one of the most spontaneous, most take risk, most do it this way, try it different way. She was very consistent, very persistent. We love to have fun, love to laugh, but when it came down to music, she would always want to be the head, always want to be the lead. At the time we was little, I was the musician, and I had to be the musician, the choir, the background, the audience. She had to be the director, the lead, everything. So she was she really was the head. I'm the oldest, the head. I'm the oldest, but she was the head. Yeah.
I can understand that. I can understand that. Did you all ever have like singing competitions in the house since y'all both can sing?
No, not really. Not really. It was always blended. We always blended. Always blend.
Yeah.
I remember growing up and finally got a car. My father bought me a car, and we would just ride and sing with other artists, sing on their CDs, blend in. It was never really a competition. It was always a blend. We were always trying to harmonize, trying to connect with other artists as far as what they sing, and we created our own style. It was always fun. Always fun.
Now, there's a question that I always ask when I bring in siblings. Who was daddy or mama's favorite?
That's a good question.
I want to say he was, and the reason why I say he was is because he could play as well. He plays organ, keys, drum. So with my father being a pastor, he has to go out and minister. My father would take my brother. I mean, because he was like the church by himself. So if you have my brother, you're good. you didn't need nobody else. So if I should say, there was a favorite, it was definitely him. I mean, he's my favorite, so I know he's theirs. But yeah, because he was so talented at what he could do. It's like anointed.
Well, I mean, he may have had the ability to play, but he didn't have the ability to whip the hair around.
I can do that.
Timothy, Reverend Bishop C, when he was out there doing all of what the gospel folks like to call shenanigans, was that accepted? Was that part of her routine even when growing up?
Yes, she was the choir director at our church that we were growing up in, that my father pastored, and everything you see today, her on stage, even with JJ Harrison and slanging the hair, that was not something she just started. She did that years ago, long time ago. Directing the choir, people would come to the church we were at just to see her direct the choir, because they already knew it was going to be, as the young people say, lit. It was going to be crazy. Yeah, they already knew it was going to be crazy.
And the funny thing is that it's not like we have this on loop or anything. This is just what she did for 5 minutes during the song. I'm trying to figure out, Tiffany, when you get your head moving in this type of manner, you don't get migraines at all? You never get a headache?
No, I've never had a headache. At least not from slinging no hair. Maybe singing too hard. But And to be honest, I don't even feel it in the moment.
Really?
I really don't. I really believe that the hair flows in whatever direction. I don't feel anything. It's just comes from a passionate place, you know. But I don't feel anything. I'm in the moment.
I've always wondered this about, because when I used to direct choirs, I was pretty dramatic, some would say as
Okay.
well. But then whenever I didn't do the drama, the dramatics, the extra things that I would normally do, people would come up, "Hey, are you okay? Is everything
Right.
cool? You know, you all right? Have you ever gone somewhere and ministered and not done it, and people like questioning if you had corona? Like, are you okay, baby? Are you sick? Are you what's going on today?"
You know what? I was in a place at one time in my life where I felt like if I didn't do that, I wouldn't get a particular response. But somebody once told me um, that I guess to challenge myself to just
Mhm.
stand there and sing. And that's when I realized, not out of arrogance, but I am anointed because, you know, the effect is still there if you don't move your hair. It's still there if you don't run around the stage. Because at the end of the day, you know, that's the body language, the emotionalism of it. But when it comes to the anointing, you can stand straight and just sing and it still be effective.
Was there ever a situation to where maybe you were told maybe not to do so much stuff that you were doing?
Yeah, there was a situation. Everybody may not know, but I'm always proud to tell that Jonathan Nelson is my mentor, and there are some instances and moments where he says, you know, to give a little bit, but not a whole lot, because there are times where you're on particular stages and there is a particular presentation that has to be presented. And I understand that totally. I don't want to ever be boxed. I don't want to ever be limited to this. I want to be always be versatile, always be able to sing anything and sing on any platform. And so, yes, there has been instances where he's like, you know, kind of chill right here. And then there's times he'll say, go as hard as you can in other moments.
Hey, Timothy, real quick, were there ever, I'm sorry, Pastor T, what should I call you? Pastor TC Bishop?
You you call me TC, that's fine.
TC, has there ever been a time where your sister was not so happy and joyful, where maybe she was mad, whether going into a service or coming out? What ticks Tiff off?
Now, be to totally be honest with you, there have been multiple times that dealing with music that she was very mad, very angry. She is actually able to play drums, and
Mhm.
those times where the drummer was all slow, didn't beat right, wasn't on, even if I wasn't playing, because at the time I was playing keys, organ, if the note wasn't right, if she heard a part, alto part that was off, it would vex her spirit to the point to where, I'm talking about she would be angry, mad, and her emotions would show on stage. When she's directing, she would look at the drummer, be like, you need to do, or, yeah, she, she would, or she cut the whole song, or cut you off, grab the mic, or, yeah, she was that person.
Tiffany, has there ever been a moment where your facial expression got you in trouble?
Um, well, I have a person inside of me that is always like, you definitely shouldn't have done that.
Mm.
So I think my own convictions probably gets me more in trouble than anyone else coming to me and saying, I saw that face. Normally, if they've seen it, I'm
Mhm.
able to confirm, yep, I probably made that face.
Wow. And I asked that question because we're now at a part of the show that I like to call the song break. And what people know about the song break is that I cannot sing, but I try. And I wanted to know when I started singing if I was going to expect a face from you. So now I know that you're not going to be able to hide it. And this would be my audition for the New Birth Praise team. So what we do is we sing a song, Tiffany, that people wouldn't know that you or wouldn't imagine believing that you know that song. It could be a rap, it could be pop, it could be Billie Eilish, it could be Alanis Morissette, it could be a country western Shania Twain, it could be a cartoon song. So what we're going to do is, because you are the guest, you are a special guest, so you don't get to go first.
Oh, well, thank
Your
you.
brother's going to go first.
Oh God.
Timothy Boone, Bishop,
Yes, sir.
Apostle TC.
Oh God.
What song would you like to sing? We only need 30, 45 seconds of it. What song would you like to bless the people with today?
I'm giving getting hints. Same with them. Okay. Come ye, this consolate, where ye languish, oh my, come to the mercy seat, fervently kneel, heal, bring your wounded heart, heal, carry your anguish. Earth has no sorrow that heaven can not heal.
Hey. Yes, God. Tiffany, you know talent. You called me, didn't you?
I was the second child. He was the first. So, hey.
Ooh, that was good. Thank you, Apostle. My song for today is in honor of yesterday. Jesus is the light. Light up the world, light up the world, light up. Jesus is the light of the world. Now, what I did there, I did 3 different parts at 6 different times.
And you sung the music.
And nobody
did the music.
Nobody's doing that these days.
No, you're right. You're right.
Here we go. Tiffany Boone, what song would people be surprised that you know?
Well, the thing about me is I don't know all the lyrics to a lot of songs I know. I'm an R&B fan. Like, I love Jasmine Sullivan. I love Brandy. Their tones are crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to sing something that I know. So I'm going to go with this. Oh, how wondrous is the name of the Lord, how we worship. His name is to be adored. God, our maker, endured pain, guilt, and strife, so that we might accept our eternal life. We offer sincere praise. We stand and bless your holy name. Your love has loosed all the chains. All men shall proclaim there's power in your name. How we love you. That's it. You're blind.
Oh God.
Woo, we have so many inside jokes.
Inside jokes.
So what I tried to do there was I tried to jump in and slide in and see if I could just catch on to a little bit of what you had. And according to Gigi Burrell again, off.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. Apostle Bishop, who's sitting next to you today?
My beautiful wife.
Yeah.
Hello.
It's something about family. I just love family. When you knew that he was going to marry her, were you okay with it? Or was she one of them that you had to grow to love? I ask all the deep questions.
Nope. I love Mia. I love Mia.
Oh, that's
She's
good.
awesome. Like seriously, she's an incredible therapist.
Mm,
Like she listens and she responds with wisdom. And we all clown all the time. Like we clown hard, but you can trust her with your information, and you
mhm,
can trust her to respond with wisdom, where she's not a yes person. She's not saying anything just to make you feel
Just
good, but it's what you need to hear. And I believe it comes from her own experiences, which I'm glad, she's older. I'm glad she's went through whatever God has allowed her to go through, because it makes her easy to answer all my situations. So I love her. I love her.
I really want to.
And because of the quarantine season, are you all able to see each other, or has it been a little bit since you all have been able to be around and to love as a family?
I was actually there. They live about an hour 35 minutes south of me. So I went down there Saturday just to intentionally spend time, because it had been a while since we all had been together. And it was very refreshing. It was very needed. Since I'm kind of up, I'm not by myself, but I live, not with anyone. And so it can get a little hard. And I make sure I intentionally pray, because, idle mind is the devil's workshop. But you have to do things intentionally in this season to get through it. And family is priority. But other than that, we all have a group text with our mom, and I mean we clown continuously. Like we just have fun.
That's
Mm-hmm.
good to hear. That's good to hear. So you're really keeping your mind strong during this season. I know we only have 2 more minutes left. I know that your booking manager said that if I go over, I owe extra, and I ain't got it. So I want to make sure we on time. Um, Being on time. So are you creating while you're in this quarantine process, or are you kind of just taking the time to relax a little bit and a step back?
I'm doing both, but I'm not intentionally creating. I'm letting creations flow from prayer, from moments of reading the word, from moments of revisiting a lot of our services from the church, and even past experiences of what I've done. But I think when I try to create in moments, it doesn't come as easy as if you were to just pray and you just start worshiping in your room and a song is created out of prayer. So I think a lot of things can come. Yeah, I mean, this is a tough time, but the best songs, the best books are written during this time. So I'm not
Mhm.
forcing creations. No, I'm resting, I'm praying, and if something flows out of that, then I'm just allowing that to naturally happen.
That's a beautiful thing. Thank you so much, Pastor, Bishop, Apostle, and First Lady Boone, for
thank you for having me, man. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Tiffany. Before we let you get up out of here, can you please share with us your social media, where people can find you?
Of course. So on Instagram, my name is officially Tiffany Boone. And on Facebook, I actually have two pages. I have a fan page and a personal page, and they're both under the name Tiffany Boone. Twitter is one Tiffany Boone. And I believe I'm on Snapchat, but I don't go on there as often. I'm an Instagram fan and Facebook. I'm constantly on there. Also have a website, www.tiffanyboone.org. So I would love for you all to visit. I definitely respond back to you because I love people. And so please follow me. Thank you so much for this experience.
It is my pleasure. And at the end, we always ask the hard questions. Number one, is your hair registered as a weapon in the state of Georgia?
It's not a weapon.
Not a weapon. Do you use it for social distancing when in stores, just to keep people from being around you?
No.
Were you upset when Mr. Nelson got the gig, the head ship instead of you?
No,
Um,
definitely not.
were you mad when Larry Jones directed Best Days instead of Ricky?
No.
Are you mad that the Kevin Lemons album is still not out yet?
No, I'm not mad.
I am. And you do believe that John P. Key won last night. Tiffany Boone, thank you so much for coming on the show today. Everyone, we ask again that you please like and share today's show so everyone gets to know about this creator that we call Tiffany Boone. Once again, you can go to www.jevaughnshow.com for more information about our show. Today's show featured the wonderful and amazing Tiffany Boone. You're more than welcome to financially support this podcast, this show, whatever it's called, at $iDream podcast. That's the Cashapp. We take everything from $1 to $5,000. Let that blessing rest in your spirit. Send that $5,000. Anyway, Tiffany, you are amazing and you're wonderful and you're gracious. And I so thank you for coming on the show today, okay?
Thank you for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, remember to take care of yourselves and each other. Until next time, be blessed. Bye-bye.